Hi, my name is Roberta and I'm Professor of Performance Studies at the University of Plymouth. I'm making this video just to introduce you a little bit to my research, which focuses on genders, on bodies, and on sexualities in performance, in particular in relation to lived experience and their potential to make meaning on stage or screen. Often I do this through the context of Jewishness, and this is my first book, which is called Jewish Women on Stage, Film, and Television. And what I was trying to do in particular in this book was to establish a genealogy and a history of Jewish female celebrity, which reaches back into 19th century France with performers such as Rachel Felix of the Comédie Française and Sarah Bernhardt, all the way through to the end of the 20th century. And I look at performers such as Theda Bara, who is on the cover of the book, playing Cleopatra, but also really huge celebrities such as Bette Midler and Roseanne Barr, and also Barbra Streisand. Since then, I've continued to look at comedy, and in particular stand-up. I've written quite a lot about the woman you see here, Joan Rivers, who died in 2014. And Rivers was one of the most significant and also most visible of stand-up comedians in the 20th century. And what really interested me about Rivers' work is the way she put her body center stage and her aging processes center stage in her delivery of comedy, which often revolved around cosmetic surgery at a time when this was considered far less acceptable. In addition to stand-up comedy, I also write a lot about performance art. And this is one of my most recent publications. It's a book chapter that appears in a book that's been edited by Maria Chatsta-Christodoulou, and it's called Live Art in the UK. And my chapter focuses on Marissa Karneski, and Marissa's actually on the cover of the book. My chapter looks at Marissa as a showwoman, a woman who considers women's lived experiences through popular performance techniques such as magic and tarot. My most recent book also lies in the field of live art. I co-edited this book. It's called Joshua So Fair, Performance, Objects, and Participation. And it was published in the Intellect Live series, which is co-published by the Live Art Development Agency. And my own chapter on Joshua So Fair, which was in the book, concentrates on how we can use the tropes of grammar, such as metaphor and metonyms, to understand how a performer like So Fair uses parts of his body to make meaning. In addition to writing about other people's work, I've also been engaged in what we call practices research, which is research that involves the making of performance and that also disseminates the finding through performance as well. And the two images that I've chosen for this slide both come from European funded projects that I've been involved with. The bottom one is a still from a film called Heaven is a Place. This was made in 2014. And what it focuses on is LGBTQ experience in Plymouth. And it was made in collaboration with members of Plymouth's queer communities. The photo at the top is from a production called Mother, and this was the fifth production by a company called Lusty Juventus Physical Theatre that I co-founded and was also one of the artistic directors of. And in this particular piece, what we were exploring is representations of the maternal when you take it away from motherhood. Most recently, my own practices research has focused on solo performance. So On the left-hand side of the screen is a photo of my professorial inaugural lecture. And you can see me there in the middle, dressed as one of my alter egos. Her name is Bobby, and she is a celebrity, a minor celebrity in Detroit in the early 80s. And the purpose of this performance was to really explore the relationships between cultural memory and the body. And my most recent practices research performance, you can see a photo of it in the other corner there. This is a reenactment of a 1961 comedy album by Pearl Williams. So going back to my interest in genealogies of female Jewish performers and stand-up in particular. And here I was really trying to explore how you can get inside stand-up comedy material by performing it. And I was really looking to try to find my own Jewish voice and what that might mean in performance. So what am I doing now? Well, I'm really focusing on the editing or co-editing of two very large books, edited collections. And one of them, which will be coming out in 2021, is the Methuen Drama Handbook to Gender and Theatre. And what we're doing in that collection is really trying to take a radical approach to how contemporary gender theory and gender discourses is impacting on theatre studies and theatre research today. And in addition to that, I am also currently the chair of the Theatre and Performance Research Association, which is also known as TAPRA. And in that role, I am especially privileged to be able to represent and to celebrate and to create opportunities for theatre and performance researchers at all stages in their careers, both in the UK and further afield.